Hey, welcome back to the Paisley Couch, everyone. It's me, the amazing Flec, and of course my manager Lucy the cat in the background here. Hey, come on up, Lucy. If you're new to my channel, you stumbled on my daily vlog posts. If you want to find something that will stand the test of time more than some guy talking on his couch while drinking water and petting his cat, then you might want to check out my playlist section for something that might be a little more timeless. I have circus and flow arts tutorials I post once a week, and a bunch of other random content. I'm chaos here, so check it out. Maybe you'll find something you like there. How are you doing today? Hey Lucy, how are you doing today? It's funny that asking how are you doing today is almost as if it's a greeting in public, and people will just say it on autopilot and not actually listen to the answer. If I could listen to your answer, I'd be genuinely curious. Yeah, why would this guy on the internet be interested in some rando person watching this video? Well, I'm starting to discover the more and more I take care of my base needs, the more I'm thinking about other people. Because I suppose I don't have to worry so much about things necessary for my survival, and it affords me more time to be able to think about other people and how they're doing. I still have a long way to go in order to get to a place of total comfort and where my base needs are fully taken care of. And I don't think that's possible, by the way, to not have any more worries or have to plan for the future anymore. But the more I can get in a comfortable place for myself, the more time I'll have to focus on other people and their needs and helping them out more. So I hope that right now you're feeling alright. And if you're not feeling alright, there's things you can do literally right now in order to change that. Now, if you're feeling down or if you are having a hard time, it's all too easy just to feel like the world's against you and that there's nothing you can do and you're stuck and you're trapped. Well, some of that may be true. Most of it's probably not true. There's always something you can do to better your situation. And I think it all starts with your attitude and your thinking, your thought process. Once again, I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what's happening up here for you. I don't know anything about your personal situation. I'm speaking to a general audience here. But I do feel that more often than not, a lot of our problems can only be solved if we approach it with the right attitude and with the right approach, really. And if you're stuck in a mentality where nothing's ever going to get better for you, or you can't do anything to change your situation, and you just feel defeated, then it's probably very likely that you'll remain there until you change your mind and you start making changes and taking steps to facilitate those changes. Or perhaps you can have someone come along and help you out and talk you through it and help you find another way of approaching things. That could be very helpful to have an ally and a friend, someone who can help you reason through your troubles. But since I don't know anything about your troubles at all, all I can do is just offer a couple of suggestions. And the more I think about it, the more it comes down to health. If you can do at least one thing for your physical health, your mental health, and your social health, just one thing every single day can make a huge difference. Getting into that habit, making it a pattern, doing it regularly, every single day. Something for your physical health, your mental health, and your social health. Physical health, it could be as easy as when you wake up in the morning, stretch some stuff out that's sore. If you're feeling a little more energetic by the afternoon, maybe just do a couple of basic exercises. You can do squats, you can do push-ups, sit-ups. If you can't do those exercises, you can always do something in order to begin the path of being able to do those exercises. And if you'll never be able to do those exercises at all, you can find something that works for you that helps your physical health overall. Mental health is tricky now. Mental health can be very tricky because sometimes we don't know what's good for ourselves. And it's really hard to tame the mind. The mind is almost like its own thing. It's doing its own thing, thinks about what it wants to think about, and it goes places sometimes you really would rather not it go to. But I do feel that more things get accomplished with an optimistic attitude. I think you're more likely to get a lot more done if you're feeling up to the task, if you're feeling happy enough to get out of bed, if you're feeling like you have the means to get it done and you have the drive to get it done. And you're not as likely to have those things if you're in a negative headspace and if you're feeling defeated. Now, I'm not just suggesting, hey everyone, just be happy and it works out great. You'll find a way to do it if you just are happy. It's not that simple, I understand. Depression is a horrible thing and it can strike like a ton of bricks and it can weigh you down even more. Mental health's a tricky one. It's a tightrope. You gotta navigate through it the right way. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know anything about your personal situation. But I do know if you can find anything that does make you happy and surround yourself around those things, you'll find that it will more often than not improve your mood and help you accomplish more things you need to accomplish. And then once you start accomplishing things, I've noticed, at least for me, that It inspires you to accomplish the next task or do the next thing that you have to get done that day. And the more you get done, the more it kind of snowballs and it accumulates as it rolls on by. And it feels better and better the more things you can knock out in a day. And as you accomplish more too, your list of burdens and tasks and responsibilities decreases, and there's a weight that gets lifted off your shoulders, and you just feel like you have more time to do other things that matter in your life, not just the things that you have to get done. So yeah, just doing one thing for your mental health can be as easy as taking a break, putting in an old cartoon from your childhood that makes you happy, picking up an old book that you enjoy a lot, reading some funny comics, or sometimes it could be as easy as calling an old friend. And that's what gets me to the social health part. Social health is under attack nowadays thanks to social media. Social media definitely has its ups and downs. It's done a lot of good for me lately for my mental health, I believe, and my social health. However, it can be very destructive depending on how you're using it and what you're using it for and how it affects you. Now, I'm no expert on physical, mental, or social health here. I'm just another human being speaking to anyone who's willing to listen out there. But in this day and age, social health is something that we really need to pay more attention to, as the rules seem to be changing so much around what's considered socially healthy. I mean, back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, if you were constantly just looking at your phone, people would think that you were just like some sort of techie weirdo or that you're antisocial. Nowadays, it's expected that you have your phone on you at all times, and oh, if you're having a conversation and someone picks it up, it's like, oh, okay, they're dealing with their phone. I mean, some of us think it's rude, some of us are more understanding of that sort of thing. I mean, the rules have changed so much. It's just a very confusing time to be alive. So it's no surprise to me why our physical, mental, and social health is under question so often nowadays. For many people, I really feel that's the case. Now, we can blame technology, we can blame human nature, we can blame our own downsides and our downfalls. But it's a holistic thing. There's so much that goes into consider this, and there's a lot of unknowns. We always have to consider the things we don't know. There's so much that we don't know and so much we can't see and perceive. And we have to consider that there's always an extra factor out there influencing these very, very complex things. So yeah, when I ask, how are you? I'm really hoping that you can ask yourself that question and see what you can do to improve your own personal situation if it's not content and cozy. Based off of how things are going these days, I'm willing to bet that it's not entirely all peaches and cream out there for a lot of us, because a lot of us have to go around pretending like everything's okay and posting all the happiest, fun-loving stuff on social media because we want to project an image of happiness. We don't want to project an image of sadness or depression or of ill mental health because, oh no, people might not pay attention. People might be scared or intimidated or run away. And sadly, I think a lot of people, it's a learned behavior. When they do that, they might not get the attention that they want or they ultimately need. And some other people will notice whenever they do a cry for help, when they put up a flag of distress out on the social media, that they get a lot of support from that. And that can be a learned behavior too, where they'll do that to get that satisfaction or that dopamine or that comfort that they may need, that they might not be able to get anywhere else. And so when I ask you, how are you doing? It's not just because I want you to self-reflect, but it's also because I'm starting to feel like I'm getting my own personal needs taken care of and I can spend more time thinking about other people. The more art I create and the more I get caught up in my own personal life and my personal affairs that I've been falling behind on, the more I want to do things to help other people find a better place for themselves to be mentally and physically and socially with other people. I mean, one of the downsides of caring and wanting to help other people is knowing that you can't always help other people. They have to want to be helped and they have to do things to help themselves. And caring can be hard work. It's much easier to not care. You could just go on and be selfish and only take care of yourself. But it's pretty lonely that way, and you're not as likely to have as a fulfilling life without creating meaningful connections with other people. And that could be a real difficult thing to do when you're not feeling healthy, you're not feeling happy, you're not feeling social, and all of that. So yeah, how are you doing? What is it that you want to get done today? How many things can you get done today? What is it that will make you happy? Sometimes it's the little things. A bunch of little things that make you a little happy can make you pretty happy. Usually it's the little things. It's the little things that can make it or break it for you. Maybe just a couple small good things can be a good start for you to accumulate more good things and develop better habits and get more things done for yourself. I hope this video comes off as genuine because it really is coming from my heart here. I mean, I'm seeing it a lot with personal friendships and with people I barely know on social media. I know that's just a representation of a part of somebody that's expressing themselves. It's not necessarily a good indicator of what's going on with them up here, but it can sometimes give you a relatively good idea of what they might be going through. You don't have to know the details to know if someone's having a really hard time. You could just see it. So for me today, I started off with a cup of coffee and I ate a carrot, because if you get that vegetable in first thing in the morning, I mean, I feel good about getting my serving of vegetables in early first thing, knowing that I did that. I can check that off my list. I got some vegetables in me that day. I stretched out for a little bit. I did some basic exercises. I'm trying to keep up with some sort of routine for my physical health. And so far, it's really been paying off. I'm kind of surprised to see that just setting aside something as small as 5 minutes to 20 minutes a day to focus on my physical health, it makes a big difference, especially after a couple of days period of time, a couple of weeks. You'll notice some things. You'll notice your flexibility increasing, your energy increasing. Those sore joints aren't as sore as they once were. What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are 5 things you can do that would make you happy? What are 5 things you have to get done that you don't want to do? I bet if you knock out at least one of those 5 things that you have to get done that you don't really feel like doing, it'll give you a little bit more motivation to get the next thing on that list done. And every one of those things you knock out will add a little bit more to your happiness and your sense of accomplishment. It'll do it. It'll work. Whatever those things may be, if you do those things, it'll work. You can trust me, I'm a stranger. And if you've been following my vlog posts lately, you'll know that I'm very interested in becoming a first-time homeowner. I'm 37, I don't have a net worth. Well, I have a little net worth, but it's nothing worth bringing up really. I don't own any like real tangible assets like a house or real estate or a nicer car, which I think cars are actually more of a liability, in my opinion, than an asset, depending on what kind of car you have. But I've always driven run-down beater vehicles. But today I did talk to a mortgage lender who is very knowledgeable about mortgages. He's been doing it well over 10, maybe 15 years now. And he answered a lot of my questions about things I was just in the dark about. And I think I found my guy I want to work with on this. So we're going through the process of submitting an application to get pre-approved for things. And I'm really enthusiastic about taking the necessary steps to move forward to getting my own house. I mean, I really love the place I'm living at right now. And ideally, I would like to still rent this place so I can use it as an office, as a recording studio, because I think it's just a wonderful location. I love my neighbors, they're fantastic. I even like my landlords. But we'll see what I can manage to do with my budget and how much more income I can create for myself. And if I can hack it, I would love to do both. But we'll see what needs to get done. I have to look out for number one, ultimately, because if you don't look out for yourself, who is going to look out for you? I'll tell you what, the only people that can look out for you, if you can't look out for yourself, are those who have already taken care of themselves enough to be able to do so. So that's another thing that gives me the drive and motivation to pull myself up out of my rut, to make something of myself so I can afford the time, money, and mental and emotional energy to help out the other people that I love in my life. Because I know that I would not be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for the good graces, the kindness, the tenderness, the compassion, and the love of wonderful family and friends out there. Thank you all very much for watching today. I appreciate you. So remember everyone, to keep safe, be well, stay humble, and peace.